If you are not familiar with active learning, just think back to one of the many chances you had during your life till now to learn something directly from your experience and from your reflection about what happened afterwards. Easily, you'll realize how many things, from the simplest to the most complex ones, you learned when you actively took part into something. Sometimes after listening to someone who knows better. Some other times trying something out by yourself and learning it by trial and error. Learning to ride a bicycle, for example, is not related to listening how someone else would do it, or only watch it done by others. You must jump on it and learn how to manage many different things: equilibrium, movements, velocity, directions, stops. When you begin, you have to practically learn the possibilities offered by your bike, not a bike in general. And you have to manage your initial lack of ability and learn how to cope with it, thanks to your personal effort. No one can do it in your place, but once you've learned it, you will always be able to remember how to do it, using all the characteristics you experienced from different perspectives. So, reading and listening about how to ride is not enough. It is the same with most of the skills, actually. Also for cognitive skills, practice them is key to learn how to use them properly. The memories of every event are not only related to the position of a text in a handbook or web page, but are strongly enriched by a lot of other details. Moreover, social and relational skills are strongly involved if the experience happens with other people, and the interactions not only supports the memorization of the process and of the result, but also determine directly the outcome. According to a meta-analysis conducted by Freeman and others on 225 studies, reporting data on examination scores and failure rates when comparing traditional classes to active learning ones, active learning increases student performance in STEM courses, and students in classes with traditional lecturing are 1.5 times more likely to fail than were students in classes with active learning. This analysis is only one in many studies conducted in order to verify how much active learning is effective in enhancing learning outcomes. More. Consider the statistics reported by Meyers and Jones. Students are not attentive to what is being said in a lecture 40% of the times. Students retain 70% of the information in the first 10 minutes of a lecture, but only 20% in the last 10 minutes. 4 months after taking an introductory course about a certain subject, students know only 8% more than students who had never taken the course. Traditional lecturing has been the predominant mode of instruction since universities were founded in Western Europe over 900 years ago, and it is still the most applied methodology in many universities. If effective learning changes the way we see the world, the acquisition of information by itself does not. So, simply covering a topic does not lead students toward the learning outcomes. It is the way students structure their minds and think with it that does. The way in which they construct meaning, not only understanding. Being required to actively structure additional information through using it according to previous knowledge, previous experience, present interaction and goals, students set the basis to a more effective retention and reuse of the acquired knowledge. Keeping it simple, students learn best when they are actively engaged in their own learning, rather than sitting back passively and just listening or not to an instructor. And they learn even better when this active engagement is accompanied by interactive exchanges with other students. So, not only doing something with the information makes it better to restructure our way to see the world, but if we do it in good company, it becomes more effective. Have a look at the resource page in the additional materials of this course to read more on this. As for now, let's see how active learning worked out in some concrete experiences. But first, what about you? Are you still thinking about teaching, or have you already shifted to helping students to learn?